Good day, learners! It's me again, Sir Riven, your learning buddy in technology and livelihood education, Kokirinay. We will discuss another exciting lesson that you may apply and use in your daily living. Make sure that you have your self-learning module with you. And always remember, it is more fun in PLE. Before we jump into our new lesson, let us review our previous discussion by having a simple activity. Let me read the directions. Identify the appropriate word to complete the statement. I will give you 5 seconds to answer each number. Are you ready? Okay, let us start. Number 1, dessert. Appetizer is a small dish of food or a drink taken before the meal to stimulate one's appetite. What is your answer? Is it dessert or appetizer? Okay, if your answer is appetizer, you are correct. Appetizer is a small dish of food or a drink taken before the meal to stimulate one's appetite. Number 2, accompaniment. Condiment is an additional item that improves the flavor, richness, and texture. What is your answer? Is it accompaniment or condiment? Very good! The correct answer is accompaniment. Accompaniment is an additional food item that improves the flavor, richness, and texture. Let us proceed on number 3. Canapé, hors d'oeuvres, is better known as the starter of the meal that can be served hot or cold. What is your answer? Terrific! The correct answer is hors d'oeuvres. Hors d'oeuvres is better known as the starter of the meal that can be served hot or cold. Let us proceed on number 4. Cocktail. Garnish is served to the guest as a courtesy and to prepare the stomach palate. What is your answer? Is it cocktail or garnish? Excellent, learners! The correct answer is cocktail. Cocktail is served to the guest as a courtesy and to prepare the stomach palate. For our last number, number 5. Accompaniment is served together with the appetizer to enhance the flavor of the dish or look more appealing. What is your answer? If your answer is enhanced flavor of the dish, you are right. Accompaniment is served together with the appetizer to enhance flavor of the dish. How many of you got a perfect score? How about the others? Great job! Because of that, here is your virtual clap. Very good, learners. Let us proceed with our second activity. Let us answer what I know, located in the week 9 of your self-learning module. Are you ready? Let me read the directions. Given the question on the next slide, write down your ideas in our comment section. I will give you 2 minutes to answer. Let's start. What are the sanitary practices in presenting appetizers? Again, I want you to associate a word or a phrase regarding this question. Your timer starts now. Thank you for those who shared their thoughts. It is indeed Valenzuela's learners are agile and brilliant. Let us find out if your answers are correct throughout the discussion. Based on the question shown earlier, what do you think is our lesson for today? Do you have an idea? The proper handling of food? How to prepare appetizer in a safe manner? Serving and plating appetizer hygienically? Okay, very well. Today, we will discuss LO 3.4, Observe Sanitary Practices in Presenting Appetizers. Here are the objectives. At the end of the lesson, the students should be able to: number 1, identify the different sanitary practices in presenting appetizers. Number 2, perform the different sanitary practices before presenting an appetizer. And number 3, value the importance of sanitary practices in preparing appetizers. Is that clear, class? Good. Before we go deeper in our lesson, let us first discuss what is the meaning of sanitary practices, or simply called sanitation. It is the act or practice of making sanitary. It is the promotion of hygiene and preventing any kinds of disease caused by harmful microorganisms. It can also be linked to the public health conditions related to clean drinking water and the treatment and disposal of human sewage. This is also the reason why we have WASH in schools. Did you know that there is a record of 820,000 deaths each year according to WHO? It is because of the unsafe water, poor sanitation, and hygiene. And take note, that was dated last 2017, and how much more today? Also, according to them, last April 2020, there are 200 diseases due to unsafe food containing harmful bacteria, viruses, parasites, or chemical substances, ranging from diarrhea to cancers. And an estimated of 600 million cases, or 1 out of 10 in the world, are eating contaminated food. And 420,000 people die every year. So it is important, class, that as early as now, you know the risk of preparing food and how crucial it is to perform sanitary practices in preparing, serving, plating, and storing appetizers. So now, class, let us first discuss how to prepare appetizer in a safe manner. Number 1, thoroughly wash all the ingredients before using. Cut away any damage or bruise, then rinse the fruits and vegetables under running water. You can also rub firm produce like potato and squash with a clean produce brush and dry them using a cloth or a paper towel. Number 2, have a separate chopping board for meat and vegetables or fruits. You may use the recommended color coding guidelines from the Food Standards Agency in using the chopping boards. Red for meat, blue for raw fish, yellow for cooked meat, brown for vegetables, green for salads and fruits, and lastly white for bakery and dairy products. Or simply, use one cutting board for fresh produce and another one for raw meat, poultry, or seafood. Use hot soapy water to thoroughly wash the surface of the cutting board and allow it to air dry. You can also use a salt paste and water to remove the stains from the cutting board, and a combination of bleach and water or simply a vinegar solution to sanitize it. Number 3, keep perishable ingredients refrigerated. Perishable foods are foods that are likely to decay, just like this one, or unsafe to be consumed. Commonly, these are the meats, poultries, fish, dairy products, and leftovers. Bacteria that cause food poisoning multiply quickest between 40 degrees Fahrenheit and 140 degrees Fahrenheit. It is the red flag that we must avoid. Perishable goods should be stored for at least 40 degrees Fahrenheit and below, depending on the type of food. Never leave them out of refrigeration for more than 2 hours. Remember, freezing does not destroy harmful germs, but it helps to keep food safe until you can cook it. Also check your safe storage time chart and practice the FIFO principle. Number 4, keep cold appetizers well chilled to keep them crisp and sanitary. As you remember, we have 2 types of appetizers. One is the hot appetizer and the second one is the cold appetizer. These are the appetizers. These appetizers have different characteristics and functions as well as the ingredients used. Most likely, those appetizers that have leafy vegetables, fruits, meat, seafood, and dairy products are kept chilled up until serving. Number 5, use gloves or utensils to handle ready-to-eat food ingredients. Aside from frequently washing your hands, you also need to use gloves and utensils in handling ready-to-eat food ingredients to avoid cross-contamination. These incidents commonly happen when harmful bacteria transfer from one person to another or one object or place to another. Using gloves and utensils is one of the keys to preventing foodborne illnesses. Are you still with me, class? Again, how can we prepare appetizer in a safe manner? Can you type it down to our comment section? Okay, very good. Number 1, thoroughly wash all ingredients before using. Number 2, have a separate chopping board for meat and vegetable or fruits. Number 3, keep perishable ingredients refrigerated. And number 4, keep cold appetizers well chilled to keep them crisp and sanitary. For our last number 5, what is that? Okay, very good. Use gloves or utensils to handle ready-to-eat food ingredients. Good job, learners! Sit back and relax because now we will talk about the ways on how to serve and plate appetizer in a safe manner. Okay? So foods should be handled properly, not only in the process of preparation, but up until it is served on the table of our guests. Sanitary practices in plating and serving must take into considerations to keep food safe from consumption. Here is the list of things that we may use as guide to performing it correctly. Number 1, use toothpicks and small plastic skewers to hold small complementary pieces of food together. This will maintain the cleanliness and sanitation of foods inside the platter. Instead of using our bare hands to pick them up, use toothpick and plastic skewers will help avoid direct food contact from the guest. But beware of the type of customer or guest you have. Make sure that children and the elderly who have poor eyesight are informed and assisted properly. Number 2, remember to decorate platters as well. Going back to the famous quote that eyes eats first, plating is like an art. The food is your painting and the plate is your canvas. Plating requires skills, style, and creativity. You must check the balance in color, in shape, texture, flavor, portion size, and the arrangement on the plate. This will help entice your guests or customers to dig in to your platter. Number 3, safe food handling in presenting appetizers must be observed. Keep the temperature of hot foods at 60 degrees Celsius or 140 degrees Fahrenheit, while cold foods must be stored at 4 degrees Celsius or 40 degrees Fahrenheit and below. As mentioned earlier, utilize utensils like tongs or wear gloves when serving. You may also use a food cover, okay, to keep it from dust or other falling objects, especially when you are in an open area, and wear PPEs like spit guard and hairnet to avoid contamination. Number 4, last but not the least, food sanitation must be observed at all times. Did I mention your answers from the concept mapping that we have earlier? Good! I know that you have lots of things in mind, and that will be validated tomorrow during your follow-up discussion. Did you understand the lesson? What have we discussed today? Okay, very good. It is all about the sanitary practices in preparing appetizers. Remember, all foods must be properly handled from the preparation up to the serving process to avoid cross-contamination or food poisoning incidents. Okay? So let us have your assessment for today. I want you to open your self-learning module and answer the following questions. Let me read the directions. Write a check mark if the statement is correct and cross if it is not. Shall we start? I will give you 5 seconds to answer each number. Okay? Number 1. Thoroughly wash all ingredients before using. Check or X. Number 2. Keep cold appetizers well chilled to keep them crisp and sanitary. Is it correct or not? Number 3. Chill salad plates before plating to avoid wilting greens. What do you think is the correct answer? Write it in your notebook. Number 4. Use gloves or utensils to handle ready-to-eat ingredients. Is it check or X? For our last number, number 5. Safe food handling and presenting appetizers must be observed. Try to recall our lesson. Is it correct or not? Are you done? Okay, let us check your answers. Class, remember, please perform honesty while checking. Number 1 is check. Number 2 is check. Number 3 is check. Number 4 is check. And number 5 is check. All of the statements earlier are correct and are included in the list of the safe manner in preparing and presenting appetizers. Count the number of the correct answers. How many of you got a perfect score? How about the others? Okay, excellent. I hope you understand well our lesson for today. For your assignment, you can now answer the remaining tasks in your self-learning module. Answer what I have learned, which you will choose whether the statement is a fact or a blank. For what I can do, you are going to read the given situation and write your answer on the space provided. Is that clear? Very good. I am very happy that you have finished this lesson. Please do not forget this new learning and try to learn more. After this lesson, you can now identify the different sanitary practices in presenting appetizers, perform the different sanitary practices before presenting an appetizer, and number three, understand the importance of presenting sanitary practices in appetizer. That's all for today, class. For the questions that we're not able to address, write them down, then ask your subject teacher tomorrow. Again, I am Francis Raven Lineses, your teacher in Technology and Livelihood Education, Tokyo 9. Leaving you a quote from sloganhub.com. Okay? Save food, save lives. Goodbye, class. Thank you and see you in my next session. Goodbye.